Welcome to episode 8 of A Beginner's Guide to Recording in Cubase. In this final episode of the series, we will look at the mixing tools in Cubase and where to find them. I must admit that I was nervous about mixing in Cubase because the tutorials we'd seen all seemed to assume that we already knew what we were doing. But once again, Cubase turned out to be a whole lot friendlier than I thought it would be. For me, the first and most important element is having the right compression for each track. Click on the E to edit your channel settings. Go to your channel strip and click on Standard Compressor. And here, kind of hidden, Cubase has all kinds of compression settings. Check these out because they're all different in subtle yet major ways. And you're bound to find one that will get your track where it needs to be. I didn't use the EQ much because it seemed to make things worse rather than help, but that was probably me. Using the right compression seemed to solve most of my issues. Next to the channel strip, you'll find the inserts. Here you will find your effects. I used tremolo on the Nashville guitar on By Your Side. And here you'll find the pitch correct. It's not auto-tune, but it worked in the spots where the handpan got all wonky. I started mixing some of our other songs, and it works for vocals too. And here, under Dynamics, you'll find other compressions and EQs you could potentially use if you didn't want to use the presets. But we were happy with the easy-peasy presets. Over here, we have the maximizer and limiter. And here, that takes you to a ton of other effects. For guitars and vocals, everything you'll need is right here. It's comprehensive and amazing. But aside from your tools and your effects, the most important component in the mixing process is you and your ears. You are going to be doing a lot of listening, and listening with discernment and focus, analyzing the balance of the drums and the bass, and then introducing other instruments over and over and over while you twiddle the knobs. And with practice, you'll get better at listening and more intuitive at knowing which knob to twiddle and how much. It helps to have a partner who has good ears. Like Brent, he's really helped me learn how to get a good mix. And unlike me, who will stubbornly and compulsively keep going, he knows when we need to take a break. Check your mix from time to time by listening to it through different sets of monitors. Make sure the bass isn't too bombastic or too low. Make sure your vocal or your lead instrument sits in the right place in the mix. You can be confident that you have a good mix when it sounds equally valid through your headphones and 2 other different types of speaker systems. A good mix is like a sonic sculpture. For me, it's like the space between my ears is a stage, and all the elements take their proper places on that stage. The arrangement comes to life and dances and sparkles. That's what we're aiming for with our mixes. Once you're happy with your mix, go to File on the drop-down menu. Go to Export. Then click on Audio Mixdown. Rename the file if appropriate, and in Path, click where you want to send the file. It'll default to the Mixdown folder, or you can send it to a memory stick. I like to send everything to my G drive, which is an external SD card drive. Then hit Export, and you're all set. Cubase has a mastering program, but I haven't used it yet. Judging by everything else, it's probably pretty good. I will try it out for our next release and report on my findings then. So I hope that this series has been an inspiration for you and hopefully demystified the process. Cubase is a big program with a lot of moving parts, And I've only begun to scratch the surface of all the things it can do. But with that being said, Cubase is so good that you can hang out in the shallow waters and still come up with something cool and have a blast while doing it. Thanks for watching.